Greeting, and in today's video, I'm going to explain to you the option chain. And if you're new, hey there, I'm Linda. I love to talk about selling stock options. It has helped my family, it has helped our lives, it's made money, make money for us. Not a professional, so take this as light education and entertainment. So today's video, the option chain. What is the option chain? You're going to need to know the option chain in order to trade stock options. Okay, so the option chain is that particular ticker symbol's marketplace for all of their option premium prices. Okay, I'm going to explain that one more time. What is the option chain? The option chain is the ticker symbol, the stock or the ETF, that particular ticker symbol, they have their own option chain and it shows their all the pricing of their premiums, all the dates they have available for people to come in and buy and sell from. Okay, so it's very important because each ticker symbol has their own option chain. So I'm going to walk you through showing the option chain, what all the parts mean, how this applies to you. So take note, I'm going to use the Thinkswim app. Okay, you could also use Fidelity, you could use SoFi, you could use E-Trade. They have their own apps as well. It will be, the interface might be a little bit different and they might have different names, but the functionality is completely the same. So I'm going to take you through Thinkswim, show you the option chain, walk you through what it means, what this number means, what that arrow means, how that applies to you, and see if that slowly starts to make sense and build a story for you. Okay? Okay, so here we go. This is the option chain. First off, I will have to choose a ticker symbol. That part is important later on, but I will need to just show you one. I'm going to type in TQQQ and it propagates it. So here on it shows all the information. This part up here shows the price it's selling, the price it's buying. This region here shows you much more numbers about the ticker symbol. In this case, as TQQ, it is a re-leveraged ETF. Shows you its market cap, its highs and lows for the day, its PE ratios. And honestly, I don't look much at this item at all. Sometimes it'll default to chart, but we're here to look at the option. This section here is more numbers percentilage. And again, to be very clear and open, I do not look at this part. This down here is a settings function that shows you if I want to look at all the strikes, or maybe I just want to look at all the increments of 5 or 10. I might do options settings as well. I don't mess with this area as much. Now here is the bread and butter. This is the option chain. It's a little bit overwhelming. Let me break it down. First of all, left side are the calls. Calls are here. It has something called a bid column. Bid means to sell. That's what bid means. It's sometimes an older word. Bid means to sell. So you want to sell an option. Ask means you want to buy. You want to buy an option. Volume means how many orders out there. Strike we'll get to later. Now the exact same mirrored side on the other side, puts. We also have a bid, which means to sell. We have an ask, which means to buy. And we have a volume. Okay, so what is the first thing you notice when you're opening on the option chain? You will notice lots of these dates. What does that mean? Well, each ticker symbol has its own frequency of dates. It could publish, you could sell expiration or buy expiration dates insurance policies on. Looking from TQQ, it has March 6th, jumps to March 13th, jumps to March 20, jumps to 27, jumps to April 2nd, jumps to April 10, jumps to April 20, April 17. I can gather that these are weekly options. Okay, so looking from this option chain, I can infer that TQQ offers weekly options, and those will become more important as I later on describe. So now look at all these arrows pointing down. I'm going to expand what's more. So I'm going to choose this top one, March 6th, which is later on this week. If I expand it down, it's going to open up much more numbers. It reveals numbers here. Let me start at the strike. Now it reveals the strike. What is the strike? The strike is the actual price of the contract that has to hit that number when the price of the share, that number hits the price of the strike. Okay, so the strike is the number. The action has to take place if the price of the share hits that strike. Okay, so now we're going to start at the beginning, calls. Remember, calls is the sentiment that the asset will go up. Okay, so now we are going to look at the call, the bid, it's selling. Actually, it's better to start at the middle, the strike. I'm going to start off way at the, I'm going to start off at the strike. It probably makes more sense to start off at the strike. But if you notice, I'm going to do one more thing. I'm going to scroll this up. I'm scrolling it so that the strike is very, very close to the stock price. From then on, you're going to see this dotted line. If you notice, the dotted line is hovering right at the 48 strike, 48.5. That number matches very closely to the stock price. So it's hovering in real time. Okay, so now I'm going to look at the calls and the puts and all these numbers that are blinking red and green. So calls, remember the calls means that the sentiment, the feeling is that the price of the stock will go up. Okay. Now, if you notice that I'm only going to focus on the call, okay? There are two parts. There's actually two shaded parts. The part that is below the stock price, this whole region is shaded. Can you tell? There's like a light blue shaded area. That means it's in the money. In the money means that the option has equity inside has equity plus the time premium. This will make more sense when I talk about the money here. If you notice, this part is not shaded. This means that all of these premiums here are outside of equity. They're all extrinsic, all time value based. There is no equity in there. It's all extrinsic, pure time value. That means that you're only getting its true raw time leftover value that you could gain from. So I'm going to break that down. If I'm a seller, I will choose the area here and I can select the strike that's very close to hovering at the share price. If you notice, the bid means to sell. It's really pricey. These, you see right there, means $1.40. $1.40 sounds small, but you have to multiply this all by factors of 100. But it's also very, very near the dotted line. And that means that it's riskier, pretty risky, that it could get exercised, that I might have to sell. If I'm selling the calls, then I might have to, the stock price of TQQ is going to go up to 52, to the price of 52 price per share. All these numbers are calculations of its risk reward value. It shows here, if I choose to sell a policy at strike 52, I will get 12 cents times 100. I will get that right off the bat. I might choose that because it's so unlikely that the price of TQQ, currently at $48, by March 6th will rally up to 52, the stock price. So I might choose that one. On the selling side, I'm not too great on the selling side. On the buying side, it's the opposite. I could choose to buy the chance. I could choose to buy the option at 52, hoping that it goes up by then and more, so that I could gain the difference, the equity difference, so that it covers my expense. But I'm only going to focus on the selling side since I'm primarily stock option seller. So the distance from the strike price that you've selected and the at the money, the line here, the dotted line is at the money. If I swipe left and right, it's called the delta. Right there, it shows the delta of 10. We might say delta 10 or 10%, something to signify that 10 delta is the numerical calculation of the risk factor of this option being exercised. If nothing happens, I keep my 11 cents times 100. But even if something does happen and it gets exercised, rain or shine, I do collect the premium. And that is one of the first benefits of being a stock options seller. Very similar in its complete inverse is the puts. Again, you'll notice the dotted line at the money. You'll notice the shaded side, which is down here. And you'll see the non-shaded portion. Non-shaded portion, that is called out the money. This part is called in the money. I like to sell out the money, meaning that it's out of danger, and something that is far away from the at the money price. I might select the 44 strike price. The calculations is giving 37 cents times 100 times however many contracts I have. That is my premium, the money I make, I pocketed. 37 cents times 100 times the number of contracts. What is the likelihood that by March 6th, the stock of TQQQ will go down below 44? And then I have to buy the shares. So that is what you will have to consider knowing yourself as a trader. You can also look at the delta. Delta says it's delta 15 at the 44 strike price. So there are quite a bit of numbers. Okay, I'm going to collapse the date again so that you'll see the dates. Maybe you might want to offer a further out expiration date. You can select further out. Look at the premiums that they give. If you notice, the premiums are a little bit bigger, but there is more time value added, and you have to wait out a little bit further as well. So I'm going to show you other ticker symbols that have a different ticker. I'm going to show you other ticker symbols that offer different expiration dates. So TQQ offers weekly. Remember that. Here is QQQ. What does QQQ offer? Well, from looking at the given dates, March 3rd, March 4th, March 5th, March 6th, March 9th, it jumps the weekend, these offer daily options. And again, if you expand, comes to the same structure, You have the strike in the middle, calls and puts. I'm going to scroll to the at the money line, which means that's the current price hovering of the real underlying price, the derivative of the stock price. Calls and puts, shaded, not shaded. Bid means to sell. Ask means to buy. So QQQ offers daily options. Now, are there companies that offer maybe monthly? Let's see how that looks like. Here's one called UNHG. They offer, it almost looks like quarterly options. So they have much fewer expiration dates. And some people may like that. Some people may want more expiration dates to work with. Sometimes there's a hybrid approach now that's been more popular. You might have every other day options, Amazon, Nvidia, probably very large voluminous stocks that can offer, they don't want to go daily, they also don't want to go weekly, but they offer every other day options. And from then on, you too can expand the dates, look at the options to see if it fits your purpose as well. Ticker symbol, whether it's a single stock or an ETF, has the option chain. Option chain includes the strike price. You have calls and puts. You have to look at how many days they offer. And if you expand it, you're going to see bid, which means to sell. They ask if you want to buy an option. The volume, meaning that how popular it is, how much is traded. The strike price is the action taken, and the dates by that certain date. So these are about 7 important points of contact number information that are important to you when you start becoming an options trader. Premiums are the calculations quickly calculated to see the risk reward of either selling an option, insurance policy, or buying an insurance policy that's due at a certain time. And it calculates how volatile it is as well. All right, so that was a mouthful. Feel free to look at this over and over again. Be comfortable with the option chain. You have to know the option chain when you become an options trader. Okay, so I know that was a lengthy walkthrough, might have been confusing, but it's important that you know and that you're comfortable with looking at the option chain. There's so many numbers, but they all mean something because we're dealing in the realm of insurances. And insurances has volatility, but more importantly, it has time. So you see all of those, the time expiration dates. That's a very new concept when you trade stock options, is this element of time going to zero. What does that even mean, right? So you're gonna see it on the option chain that these premiums are alive. They have the policies, the premiums have numbers attached to them, and they also have an expiration date attached to them. And you, as particularly as the option seller, you're going to have to be mindful how far you want to put out and sell a new policy. If it's coming to closure, will you close it? Will you roll it to the next one? All of these things are new in options, stock options, and it's right on the option chain. So be familiar with it. Look over and over and see what that number means and that number means. All of it is for your benefit. All of these numbers are for your benefit so that you could be a better options trader, hopefully an options seller like myself. Any questions? No question is too dumb or too smart. Please hit below. I'll love to clarify, explain anything that's confusing with stock options. Look at my shorts wall, you'll see real trades take place, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.